Hello, future engineers, subscribers, viewers, and students. Here is a video presenting the solutions to sample problems in plane and spherical trigonometry 2 in my playlist. So with less animations, just to explain, I hope you can follow the explanations and the solutions. If sine of A is 3/5 and A is in the second quadrant, while cosine of B is 7/25 and B is in the first quadrant, find the exact value of sine quantity A minus B. So for the solution, A is in the second quadrant, then sine of A is y over r, y is positive 3, r is 5 in the second quadrant. So by Pythagoras theorem, this should be 4, but since it lies in the second quadrant, x is -4 there. Cosine of B is 7/25, x over r in the first quadrant, so that's angle B. Then this is 24, positive 24, by Pythagoras theorem, square root of 25 squared minus 7 squared. And of course, you should familiar with the proportions for right triangle. So sine of angle A minus B is sin cos minus cosine. So sine A cosine B minus cosine A sine B. So sine A is 3/5, cosine B is 7/25 minus quantity cosine A -4/5 and sine B 24/25. So using your calculator, sine of quantity A minus B is 117/125. Now for the calculator technique, it is natural display. So press sign, then open quantity 180 degrees minus sign, inverse sign of open quantity 3/5, then close minus inverse cosine. This represents A because A is in the second quadrant. It should be an obtuse angle. 180 degrees minus this angle here, which is inverse sine of 3/5. Then minus inverse cosine, angle B is inverse cosine of 7/25 or inverse sine of 24/25. In fact, 180 degrees minus inverse sine of 3/5 can also be replaced with inverse cosine of -4/5 because your calculator is capable of giving you the second quadrant angle immediately, except for sine. So you can use inverse cosine of -4/5 instead. Then pressing equals, you will have in your calculator, it will display 117/125. Next, problem 2. If tangent of A is 8/15 in quadrant 3 and cosine B is -24/25 in quadrant 2, what is the exact value of cosine A plus B? Cosine of A plus B is cos minus sin. If you can memorize, if not, there's calculator technique so that you can obtain the exact value of this trigonometric function value. So A is in the third quadrant and tangent A is 8/15, y is -8, x is also negative, so -15. So -8 over -15 is 8/15. So that's the value of tangent in the third quadrant. So the hypotenuse is 17 by Pythagoras theorem. Then cosine B, -24/25 in quadrant 2. So cosine is negative, so we have -24/25. So to obtain this by Pythagoras theorem, just like there, so it is +7, y is positive in the second quadrant. So cosine of quantity A plus B is cos minus sin. So cosine A, cosine B minus sine A, sine B. Cosine A is negative 15 over 17. Cosine B is negative 24 over 25. Then minus open quantity. Sine A is negative 8 over 17. Sine B is 7 over 25. Using your calculator, cosine of quantity A plus B is 416 over 425. Now for the calculator technique, you have to anticipate that angle A is 180 degrees plus this angle here. So 180 degrees plus inverse tangent of 8 over 15, you just treat everything as positive. Then plus inverse cosine of negative 24 over 25, it will give us an obtuse angle, this obtuse angle here. Then natural display, of course, press equals 416 over 425 also. Problem 3. If cosine A is 4/5 and A lies in the fourth quadrant, find the exact value of the following: sine of A over 2, cosine of A over 2. So for the formula, sine of A over 2 is plus minus square root of 1 minus cosine of A all over 2. But A is in the fourth quadrant, so half of a fourth quadrant angle, it will lie in the second quadrant. And since sine of an angle in the second quadrant is positive, so we use positive value here because it is expected positive. Sine function is sine of that angle in the second quadrant is positive, like here. So square root of 1 minus cosine, so given is cosine of A 4/5, so 4 over 5. To solve for y, it is negative 3 because the angle A lies in the fourth quadrant. So positive of square root of 1 minus cosine A, this is cosine A over 2. Simplify with your calculator, it is square root of 10 over 10. Now for the calculator technique, this angle A, which lies in the fourth quadrant, is 360 degrees minus this reference angle. So this reference angle, so we have to press sine of open quantity 360 degrees minus inverse cosine of 4/5, so which is this angle here, then divided by 2, it will give us decimal value 0.3162, which is the equivalent decimal value of this exact value, square root of 10 over 10. Then cosine of A over 2, because A over 2 lies in the second quadrant and cosine there is negative. So that's why we precede the formula with the negative sign. Square root of 1 plus cosine A all over 2. So that would be negative. So negative square root of 1 plus 4/5 over 2. So negative 3 square root of 10 over 10. For the calculator technique, press cosine of open quantity 360 degrees, this value here, over 2, so that's negative 0.9487, which is the decimal equivalent of this exact value. Problem 4. A pole casts a shadow 15 meters long when the angle of elevation of the sun is 61 degrees. If the pole is leaned 15 degrees from the vertical directly towards the sun, determine the length of the pole. So this is the illustration, this is the figure. We have a pole which is leaning directly towards the sun, so 15 degrees. And this is the sun, the angle of elevation, this is the line of sight, the ray. Then the angle of elevation of the sun is 61 degrees. Then this angle is 90 degrees plus 50 degrees, so that makes 105 degrees. Then this remaining angle is 180 degrees minus 61 degrees minus 105 degrees, so 40 degrees. Then to solve for the length of the pole, this is the shadow, 15 meters long. We have to apply sine law, so L as to sine 61 degrees equals 15 as to sine 14 degrees. So solving for L is 54.23 meters. Problem 5. A point outside an equilateral triangle is at distances of 20 cm, 20 cm, and 36 cm from the vertices. Determine the perimeter of the triangle. Since the triangle is equilateral, the point should be here outside, and the distance from these corners here would be 20 and 20 equal, and this is the 36 centimeter distance from the farthest vertex of the equilateral triangle. So by analysis, because these two are equal, this 36 cm length of line should bisect the interangle of the equilateral triangle. So this is 30 degrees, another 30 degrees, remember 60 degrees interior angles of an equilateral triangle. We'll call the side of the equilateral triangle x. So by cosine law, 20 squared opposite to 30, 20 squared equals x squared plus 36 squared minus 2 times x times 36 cosine of 30 degrees. So simplifying, that's the simplification, x squared minus 36 square root of 3x plus 896 equals 0. Using your calculator, x is 39.89 cm or 22.46 cm. Both are acceptable. So if x is 39.89, 39.89 cosine of 30 is less than 36, so that point lies outside. If x is 22.46, then obviously 22.46 cosine 30 degrees is less than 36 also. So these two values of x are acceptable. So one perimeter is 3 times 39.89, 119.7 cm. The other perimeter 3 times 22.46, 67.38 cm. Problem 6. A statue 6 meters high is on top of a pedestal that is 3 meters. At what point on the horizontal ground will the statue and the pedestal subtend equal angles? So if you can recall double angle formulas for tangent, then solve that. But if you cannot, I'll have to share with you the calculator technique. So in this smaller right triangle, tangent theta is 3 over x, where x is the required distance. Then tangent of 2 theta is 9 over x. Since tangent to theta is 2 tangent theta over 1 minus tangent square theta, then that's 9 over x. Substitute the value of tangent theta, which is 3 over x. Then 1 minus 3 over x squared equals 9 over x. We cancel 9 and 3. So we have 3 here left. This x here can also be cancelled, denominator, both denominators. So we have to cross multiply. 2 equals 3 times 1, so 3 minus 3 times 9 over x squared is negative 27 over x squared. 27 over x squared equals 1. So x squared equals 27, and x is 3 square root of 3 meters, and in decimal 5.196 meters. For the calculator technique, there will be 4 choices and only one of them is the correct answer. So you have to evaluate. For instance, you choose letter A, so you can evaluate theta, tangent, inverse tangent of 3 over the choice in letter A. Then you have to evaluate inverse tangent of 9 over choice A. If this angle, inverse tangent of 9 over choice A, is double the angle in the first part, then that would be the answer. If not, you proceed to letter B, C, and D until such time you obtain the correct value of x. So that's the calculator technique. I'm not presenting it here. 7. This came out in November 2015. A point inside an equilateral triangle is 4 meters, 5 meters, and 6 meters from the vertices. So find the area of this equilateral triangle. So we have a point here, which is 4 meters, 5 meters, 6 meters from the vertices. So the technique is we draw another equilateral triangle like this one, 6, 6, 6. And we know that if I call this theta, this is 60 degrees minus theta. And since this is an equilateral triangle, so if that is already theta, then this is also 60 degrees minus theta. Now, in this 60 degrees minus theta, the sides adjacent are x and 6, which are the same sides 6 and x in this triangle. Therefore, the opposite is 5. So just like here, x and 6, 60 degrees minus theta, this should be 5. Then we form here another triangle with sides 4, 6, and 5. Let's solve for alpha. After we solve for alpha, let's consider this triangle here. X is opposite to alpha plus 60. Apply cosine law, we can solve for x. Now to solve for alpha, we apply cosine law in this triangle. 5 square equals 4 square plus 6 square minus 2 times 4 times 6 cosine of alpha. Solving for alpha, it is 55.77 degrees. Again, apply cosine law in this triangle. Opposite to alpha plus 60 is x. So x squared equals 4 square plus 6 square minus 2 times 4 times 6 cosine of quantity alpha plus 60, or 55.77 degrees plus 60 degrees. Solving for x, 8.536 meters. The area of any triangle is 1/2 the product of adjacent sides, 1/2 xx sine of the included angle, which is 60. So 1/2 of 8.536 square sine 60 is 31.55 square meters. Problem 8. Determine the amplitude, period, and phase shift of the function y equals 4 sine quantity 2x plus pi over 2. Also sketch the graph, although in the board exam you don't need to sketch the graph, but if you might be required, there may be a graph already present, then you have to determine the equation of the graph, then that would be the possible question. So the amplitude is obviously 4 from our guide, a sine of quantity kx plus c. And the period is 2 pi over k. K is 2, so 2 pi divided by 2 is pi. And the phase shift is, we just equate this to 0. The value of x, which is replaced by c, is the phase shift. So negative pi over 2 divided by 2. So the phase shift is negative pi over 4. Then the sketch of the graph, because the period is pi, we divide this by 4, remember, and remember the graph of y equals sine x, so that we just directly draw the graph. So pi divided by 2, pi over 2, then pi over 2 divided by 2, pi over 4, 3 pi over 4 in between pi over 2 and pi. Same is true here, but negative. So the graph of sine y equals 4 sine of 2x, 4 sine 2x would be this, just 4 sine 2x. So it begins with 0, then upper 0, lower 0, sine of 0, 0, remember? Then upper, the amplitude, by the way, negative is 4, so the graph will be oscillating between negative 4 and 4. So 1 or 4, upper, then 0, then lowest, then 0, then highest, then and so on and so forth. Since the phase shift is negative pi over 4, we have to drag this graph, this solid black curve, by pi over 4 to the left to obtain the graph of this required trigonometric function. So after we drag it here, then this will be the red solid curve is the graph of y equals 4 sine quantity 2x plus pi over 2. You check, set your calculator in the radian mode, then type 4 sine of open quantity or use mode table 4 sine of 2 alpha x plus pi over 2 as your f of x. Then input the following values: negative pi, negative 3 pi over 4, negative pi over 2, negative pi over 4, or it begins with start with negative pi and with positive pi. Then what we call this, the step is pi over 4, and you will get that at negative pi it's 4, at negative 3 pi over 4 it's 0, at negative pi over 2 it's negative 4, at pi over 4 0, at pi over 2 negative 4, and so on and so forth. Problem 9, this came out in the CE Board exam May 2012. Which of the following curves has twice the amplitude but half the period than y equals sine x? Remember that for y equals sine x, the amplitude is 1 and the period is 2 pi. Therefore, from the choices, this should be one of the choices because the amplitude here is 2, which is twice the amplitude of this, and the period is 2 pi over 2, so pi, which is half the period of sine x. So that's why that's the answer. What is the period of the graph of the function? Problem 10. 4 sine of quantity x over 3 minus pi. So the period is 2 pi divided by coefficient of x, which is 1/3, and that is 6 pi. 11. Two pulleys are driven by a belt. If the smaller pulley rotates at 1,200 revolutions per minute, while the bigger rotates at 800 revolutions per minute, what is the ratio of their diameters? So for the two pulleys of different diameters, their tangential velocity should be the same so that there will be continuous. So that length is equal to that length, or the tangential linear velocity should be the same. It's only the angular velocity that should not be the same. This should be smaller theta, that would be bigger theta in order for the two to be equal. So that if that is S, that is also S. Remember that linear velocity is omega times r. Omega should be converted to radians per second, but because the units here are consistent, RPM, we don't need to do that. So for smaller pulley, angular speed is 1,200. Then the radius is small d over 2. Then for the bigger pulley, angular speed is 800 RPM. Then the bigger radius is big diameter over 2. Cancel 2. So big diameter over small diameter is 1,200 over 800, and that is 3 hands. Then 12, find the angle between the minute hand and hour hands of a clock at 5:42:30. 5 o'clock, 5 hours, 42 minutes, and 30 seconds. That's also 42.5 minutes. So we draw a clock, then reading 5:42:30. Since the gap between two marks of a clock is 5 minutes and 2 minutes and 30 seconds is exactly 2.5 minutes. So we expect that this tip will cross the midpoint between 8 and 9, and we expect that theta 2, because the angular spacing between marks is 30 degrees, we expect that 30 degrees is 360 degrees over 12. We expect that this theta 2 is 50 degrees, but we'll just solve that in general. So this theta 1 can also be solved by ratio and proportion. So first theta 1 as to, because this is the hour hand, the movement of the hour hand for 1 hour is 30 degrees. So we convert 42 minutes and 30 seconds, or 42.5 minutes to hour. So we divide it by 60. So theta 1 as to 42.5 over 60 hour equals 30 degrees. That corresponds to 1 hour for the hour hand. Solving for theta 1, 21.25 degrees. Likewise, theta 2 is expected to be 50 degrees, but let's show it. This is the minute hand. So that's 5 minutes. 5 minutes corresponds to 30 degrees movement of the minute hand. So theta 2 as to 2.5 minutes, this 2 minutes and 30 seconds, is equal to 30 degrees as to 5 minutes. So theta 2 is indeed 15 degrees. Therefore, from the figure, this theta, angle between the hands, minute hand and the hour hand, is equal to, take note that the angular spacing from 5 to 8 is 90 degrees. 30 plus 30 plus 30, 90 degrees, then plus theta 2, then minus theta 1. So 90 degrees plus theta 2, 50 degrees minus theta 1, 21.25 degrees. So theta is the angular spacing between the minute hand and the hour hands would be 83.75 degrees for this specific time. 14. A tower and a monument stand on a level plane. The angles of depression of the top and bottom of the monument viewed from the top of the tower are 30 degrees and 31 degrees respectively. The height of the tower is 145 feet. This is the tower. Find the height of the monument. So this is the tower, and the angle of depression of the top and bottom of the monument viewed from the top of the tower are 30 degrees and 31 degrees. So this is vertical, so that's a right triangle. We can solve this using by isolating right triangles, but I will not do that. I'll just use law of sines because it is perfect for sides. Now, if this is 31 degrees, take note that that's also 31 degrees. So this angle here is 90 degrees minus 31, so 59 degrees. Also, let's call this X and this one as H. Now, because in this right triangle, we can solve for X, the hypotenuse. So sine 31 degrees equals 145 over X, so X is 281.53 feet. And this angle here is 31 degrees minus 30 degrees, 18 degrees. 59 degrees, 90 minus 31. So this remaining angle, 180 degrees minus 18 degrees minus 59 degrees is 103 degrees. We then apply sine law because we already computed X. So H as to sine 18 degrees equals X, which is 281.53 as to sine 103 degrees. Solving for H, height of monument, 89.29 feet. Two angles of a triangle are 62 degrees, 10 minutes, and 44 degrees, 40 minutes, are connected by a side that is 864 meters long. What is the area of the triangle? We can compute the area. We can solve the third angle, 180 minus 62 degrees 10 minus 44 degrees 40, so 73 degrees 10. Actually, we can solve the area directly. Now, if you cannot remember that formula there, which is, remember any side square, so 864 square times sine, product of sines of angles adjacent to this side, 62 degrees 10, times sine 44 degrees 40, divided by 2 sine of the opposite angle, so 2 sine 73 degrees 10 minutes. So the area is 242,418 square centimeters. If you cannot memorize that formula, you may apply sine law to solve for, let us say, this side here. so that after we solve for this side, area is 1/2. Remember, 1/2 product of adjacent sides, 864 times that side, sine of 62 degrees, 10 minutes. So if you cannot recall this formula, then you solve one of the sides by sine law, then apply area 1/2 of product of adjacent sides times sine of the angle between those sides. 16, simplify tangent x, secant x, quantity 1 minus sine square x divided by cosine x. So we just we just write tangent x as tangent x. Then secant is 1 over cosine x. Then this is 1 minus sine square x, which is cosine square x, divided by cosine x. Would have to be cosine square x divided by cosine x, or divided by cosine square x, so that is 1. What remains is tangent. So that's the answer. Then in the calculator technique, you may substitute x is 5 degrees, and you will notice that after evaluating with x equals 5 degrees, it is equal to the tangent of 5 degrees. So that's why the answer is tangent x. 17, the bearing of a lighthouse from a ship was found to be north 37 degrees east. After the ship sailed 2.5 miles due south, the new bearing was north 25 degrees east. So this is the situation. This is the original position of the ship, and the lighthouse will be there. That's the lighthouse. The bearing of the lighthouse from this position is north 37 degrees east. Then the ship sailed due south 2.5 miles. The new bearing of the lighthouse is north 25 degrees east. So the distance of the lighthouse from this second location is denoted by x. So this angle here is 180 degrees minus 37 degrees, 143 degrees. Since this is 25 degrees, this remaining angle 180 degrees minus 143 degrees minus 25 degrees. Then apply sine law, x as to sine 143 degrees. 143 degrees is 2.5 as to sine of 12. So solving for x is 7.236 miles. Then lastly, a clock has a dial face 12 inches in radius. The minute hand is 9 inches long, while the hour hand is 6 inches long. The plane of rotation of the minute hand is 2 inches above the plane of rotation of the hour hand. Find the distance between the tips of the hands at 5:40 a.m. So top view first. 5:40 is exactly that one. So let's call this angle theta 1. So remember that by ratio and proportion, theta 1 as to 40 minutes is 2/3 hour, or 40 over 60 hour, as to theta 1 equals, remember, for the hour hand, the movement in 1 hour is 30 degrees. So 1 hour corresponds to 30 degrees. So theta 1 is 20 degrees. The angular spacing from 5 to 8 is 90 degrees. So this angle theta is 90 degrees minus theta 1. So it is 70 degrees. Then we apply cosine law. So this is now the pictorial view. So this hand here, which is 6 inches, our hand, points this point here, and this minute hand, which is 2 inches above the plane of the hour hand, points exactly this 8 mark here. Then in this triangle, we solve for x1 first, and finally in this right triangle, we can solve for x, the distance between the tips of the minute hand and the hour hand. So to solve for x1 by cosine law, since this is theta and theta is equal to 70 degrees, so x1 square cosine law is 6 square plus 9 square, this is 9 square, minus 2 times 6 times 9 cosine of 70 degrees. So x1 is 8.948 inches. Then this is vertical, that is horizontal. So this is the hypotenuse right triangle. So By Pythagoras theorem, x is square root of x1 square plus 2 square. So x is 9.169 inches. So that's it for this video.